What if the gods of ancient Lemuria possessed technology far surpassing our current understanding? Their cities shimmering with crystal power grids and vehicles defying gravity. And what if these gods were actually Pleiadian extraterrestrials, who not only seeded life on Earth but also genetically engineered humanity, bestowing unique gifts and abilities that have been deliberately suppressed for millennia, hidden within the very fabric of our DNA? Today, we unveil the lost secrets of Lemuria and the Pleiadians, revealing the hidden history of humanity and the suppressed knowledge that could transform our understanding of ourselves and our potential, unlocking a destiny long forgotten. Picture a civilization that thrived for eons before recorded history, a utopian paradise of spiritual harmony and breathtaking technological innovation, nestled in the vast expanse of the Pacific Ocean. Lemuria, a continent now submerged beneath the waves, yet its echoes reverberate within our collective unconscious, a testament to a forgotten golden age. The Pleiadians, a race of enlightened star travelers hailing from the constellation Taurus, are said to have journeyed to Earth in ancient times, not as conquerors, but as gardeners of life, planting the seeds of civilization and meticulously guiding humanity's spiritual and genetic evolution, acting as both architects and nurturers. This is not merely a recounting of history. It is a perilous quest to unearth the genuine origins of humankind, challenging prevailing narratives, scrutinizing alternate hypotheses, and bestowing upon you, the seeker of truth, the forbidden knowledge that has been concealed for countless generations. Our Odyssey is illuminated by venerable ancient texts, the channeled sagacity of Endubsar, a Lemurian master scribe whose wisdom transcends time, and revolutionary discoveries in alternative archaeology, meticulously assembling the scattered fragments of a complex enigma, a puzzle deliberately obscured from the masses by those who seek to maintain control over our perception of reality. The ancient wisdom speaks to the true history that has been buried for millennia. These historical records tell the first-hand account of the true gods, the Pleiadians. Are you ready to handle the truth? But what if the Pleiadians' actions weren't purely altruistic? Did they genuinely seek to accelerate our spiritual evolution? Or was there a more intricate, perhaps even concealed, agenda at play, a clandestine experiment with unforeseen and potentially catastrophic consequences that continue to shape our destiny to this very day? Was it a purely benevolent act, or was humanity used as a pawn in a cosmic game? So let us embark on this extraordinary journey together, venturing into the ethereal mists of Lemurian history, meticulously examining the Pleiadians' purported genetic capabilities and sophisticated technology, and fearlessly unearthing compelling archaeological evidence that has the potential to completely rewrite the accepted narrative of human origins. Shattering the foundations of conventional understanding and illuminating the path towards a more profound and authentic comprehension of our place within the grand tapestry of existence. Did you know that the gods of Lemuria were not a unified entity, but possibly factions of Pleiadians embroiled in a cosmic conflict? This conflict may have resulted in different genetic blueprints being used during humanity's creation, explaining variations among human populations and the ever-present warring nature of man. This cosmic drama played out on Earth, with humanity caught in the middle of their squabbles. According to Endubsar, the Lemurian master scribe, whose channeled texts provide invaluable insights into this era, the Pleiadians were not just creators but star-seeders, who meticulously manipulated human DNA to accelerate spiritual and cognitive development. So Endubsar was saying, the Pleiadians did not merely create humanity but tailored the human form from ape to a more spiritual container, a vessel capable of higher consciousness and deeper connection to the cosmos. These star-seeders sought to unlock our hidden potential, to awaken the divine spark within us. This genetic manipulation was potentially intended to improve humanity's spiritual capacity and provide a strong body to support the spiritual soul. But the Pleiadians, or factions thereof, were at war on their home world and used Earth as a test bed for their genetic experimentation. One faction wanted to control the human race, the other wanted to elevate. Therefore there was no singular plan, but warring ideas which lead to the demise of Lemuria. This idea that there were multiple agendas at play is also why the Anunnaki came to Earth, to play out their warring ideas and agendas, and thus used humanity. Some argue that ancient cultures merely misinterpreted natural phenomena as divine intervention. However, Ndubsar's accounts detail genetic procedures that are beyond simple misinterpretations. He speaks of specific DNA sequences, energetic alignments, and conscious manipulations that defy the limitations of primitive understanding, a testament to the advanced technology wielded by these star-seeding entities. Ndubsar was saying, the natural world did not simply spring forth, but a designed plan was put in place. However, what was not accounted for was the warring Pleiadians who fought against each other through their creation. But that's not all. The story of Lemuria doesn't end with genetic engineering. What if there are surviving artifacts, remnants of their advanced civilization, waiting to be discovered beneath the waves? Reports suggest sonar anomalies and unusual formations have been found near the Pacific Ring of Fire that defy natural geological processes. These anomalies have sparked speculation that these underwater structures are remnants of Lemuria, a lost civilization whose wonders now slumber beneath the ocean's surface. Could these be the ruins of once great cities, testaments to a civilization that predates recorded history? These were not found in one specific place, but spread out like a net around the Earth. These structures may have been built using advanced technology and served as energy vortexes or communication hubs, facilitating spiritual communion and interstellar communication. The idea of high technology, however, can lead to the weaponization of objects, as history clearly demonstrates. These advanced devices were not merely tools but extensions of consciousness, amplifying spiritual energies and bridging the gap between dimensions. These tools were not always used for the great good. While concrete evidence is still lacking, the consistency of these underwater findings, combined with the ancient records, suggests that something significant lies beneath the waves. What they don't want you to know is that these structures are highly magnetic, and no advanced human tech is able to explore them. However, the end of Lemuria wasn't due to natural disasters. The civilization destroyed themselves with a secret weapon disguised as a spiritual ritual. This wasn't an outside attack, but an inside job, Ndubsar was saying, as he accounted the true ending of the once great Lemurian civilization. Ndubsar describes how crystal technology, initially intended for healing and spiritual ascension, was weaponized by a faction within Lemuria, leading to a cataclysmic event. He tells us, by twisting the natural harmonics of the crystal matrix, they created a device of unimaginable destructive power, a weapon that shattered the delicate balance of the planet and unleashed devastation upon the land. This highlights the danger of technology outpacing spiritual maturity. The Lemurians were so focused on technological advancement that they failed to heed the moral and ethical considerations of their creations, for they forgot a fundamental truth. True power lies not in external tools but in inner wisdom and compassion. A great lie was told, Ndubsar stated, for they were not ready to handle the great responsibility of such power. This is a great lesson for the current human condition. So if these channeled yet verifiable stories are true, the big question is, what does this mean for us, and how can we grow spiritually without destroying our species with technology? How close are we to making the same mistakes? So, what have we learned? The Pleiadians may have genetically engineered humanity. Lemurian artifacts lie hidden beneath the waves, and a once great civilization was destroyed by its own weaponized spirituality. Did the Pleiadians genetically hardwire humanity to repeat the cycle of self-destruction? All this points to a complex and often tragic story of humanity's origins, a story where advanced technology and spiritual aspirations can lead to both creation and destruction. What if the gods were not gods at all, but advanced beings with flaws and agendas of their own, and used us? What if we, the descendants of Lemuria, are destined to repeat their mistakes, or perhaps to learn from them and forge a new path toward a more enlightened future? But what exactly does it mean to weaponize spirituality? It all boils down to a distortion of sacred geometry, an ancient science understood by the Lemurians, which they then twisted for destructive purposes. By distorting harmonics, they set forth a new song for Earth, leading to its doom. Endubsar describes how the Lemurians used crystals, attuned to specific geometric frequencies, to create energy vortexes for healing and communication. However, a rogue faction discovered how to invert these frequencies, creating destructive harmonic resonances. In essence, the natural world became synthetic. By twisting the natural harmonics of the crystal matrix, they created a device of unimaginable destructive power, disguised as a source for interdimensional communication, Endubsar was saying. Imagine a beautiful melody twisted into a cacophony. The Lemurians understood that the universe is governed by harmonic frequencies, expressed through sacred geometry. By distorting these frequencies, they created a resonance cascade, disrupting the planet's energy field and triggering a cataclysmic chain reaction. A large impact was seen and felt for many years after this date. Some might argue this isn't about a physical device, but an elaborate form of psychic warfare, in which the manipulation of intent through a group spell can cause the same outcome. But what happened to the Lemurians after this cataclysm? Did any survive? And if so, what did they do with this forbidden knowledge? Endubsar recounts how a small group of Lemurians, including himself, foresaw the impending disaster and retreated into vast underground networks beneath the surface, severing contact with the surface world to prevent further misuse of sacred geometry. The great crystal city of Telos was created. Why did they choose to isolate themselves? Was it simply to escape the destruction, or was there a deeper reason? Did they fear that humanity, in its then primitive state, was not ready for such power, or would fall under the same temptations that they did? Did the Pleiadians leave them or take them away? So if the channeled yet verifiable stories are true, the big question is, what does this mean for us today, and how can we learn from Lemuria's mistakes to wield technology and spiritual knowledge responsibly? If these stories are made up, then what is the lesson we can learn? So, what have we learned? A faction of Lemurians weaponized sacred geometry, leading to the civilization's demise, and the survivors retreated underground, severing contact with the surface world. If this weaponized spirituality is not managed, our days are numbered. All this points to a crucial lesson, that advanced knowledge, without the balance of spiritual maturity and ethical considerations, can lead to self-destruction, and the importance of always approaching interdimensional and God-like contact with caution. But we're just scratching the surface. There is more to this story. What we will discover next is even more shocking. But what specifically did the twisting of the sacred geometry actually do to Lemuria? The planet's distortion began when the Lemurians created a disruption in the Earth's magnetic field through the creation of their weapon. The harmonic frequencies shifted, resulting in a dramatic downturn of Earth's sustainability. The crystal weapon did more than destroy structures. It destroyed the entire planet's ability to thrive and support life. Endubsar vividly describes how the crystal resonance disrupted the Earth's natural harmonic frequencies, creating a resonance cascade that destabilized the planet's magnetic field, disrupted the weather patterns, and caused widespread earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. This was not simply the end of a civilization, but the beginning of a planetary disaster. The soil died, the water became toxic, and the air was unbreathable. When the weapon was activated, the sun turned black, Indubsar was saying. The long-term effects of this distortion were devastating and are still seen today in the shifting magnetic poles, which has caused chaos within our navigation. The Earth's magnetic field, once stable, became erratic, affecting everything from animal migration to human consciousness. By severing their connection to the source of creation, they destroyed their planet. Some might argue that natural disasters are common throughout Earth's history. However, Indubsar's accounts describe a chain of events triggered by a specific technological misuse, not a random act of nature. But what does this have to do with the Pleiadians? Indubsar states that it wasn't a matter of if this weapon would be created, but when. Were the Pleiadians actually trying to warn Lemuria of its destructive path, or were they complicit in its use of the weapon? Indubsar states, "I remember hearing the Pleiadians scream, 'Do not do it.'" According to Indubsar, the Pleiadians tried to stop the Lemurians from using the weapon, warning them of the dangers of distorted frequencies. They attempted to convey the importance of spiritual responsibility and the need for ethical considerations when wielding powerful technologies. "The Pleiadians came to the council to urge us to stop, but we did not listen," Indubsar was saying. This account suggests that the Pleiadians may have foreseen the potential for misuse of sacred geometry and attempted to guide the Lemurians towards a more responsible path. The Lemurians, however, blinded by their own hubris, ignored the warnings. Why were they not heeded? But if the Pleiadians warned them, why didn't they help them, and why didn't they listen to their supposed creators? Was it something more sinister? Were there other forces at play influencing the Lemurians that eventually caused the downfall? Indubsar states, "Once we connected with the interdimensional world, we were contacted by reptilian beings that told us of power and wealth. The reptilians taught us to transmute metals in our bodies and the crystals, and showed us how we were all powerful. The reptilians were to be believed. The reptilians, unlike the benevolent Pleiadians, seemed to have a different agenda. By convincing the Lemurians of their own godhood, the reptilians may have manipulated them into misusing their technology. What did the reptilians want? The reptilians offered the Lemurians an opportunity to ascend into higher realms and become gods, but it all came at a cost: the destruction of their world. So, the Pleiadians warned of weaponized sacred geometry, but another race contacted the Lemurians and sought to use it for ascension. It's clear that the interdimensional world has races with conflicting agendas, and not all of them are helpful. So, what have we learned? A faction of Lemurians weaponized sacred geometry, leading to the civilization's demise. The reptilians guided the Lemurians down this path. The survivors retreated underground, and a warning was missed. If this story is true, this has massive implications for Earth today, and the dangers of technological advancement without spiritual guidance. All this points to a crucial lesson: that advanced knowledge and contact with other races, without the balance of spiritual maturity and ethical considerations, can lead to self-destruction, and the importance of always approaching interdimensional contact with caution. But what we will reveal next is who these reptilians are. But what exactly did the reptilians want from the Lemurians? The reptilians, far from being benevolent guides, sought to exploit Lemuria's advanced knowledge of crystal technology and interdimensional travel for their own purposes: interstellar dominance, the conquest of worlds, and a power source that could fuel their galactic ambitions. Their interest in Lemuria wasn't altruistic. It was a calculated move to gain access to powerful technologies and knowledge that could solidify their position as a dominant force in the cosmos. Endubsar describes how the reptilians introduced the Lemurians to new forms of crystal amplification, technologies for controlling human thought, and rituals designed to sever the connection between humans and their spiritual source. These technologies became a key method of control, subtly altering the Lemurians' perceptions of reality and making them more susceptible to manipulation. They were taught how to transmute metals in their bodies for power, a practice that, while seemingly empowering, ultimately drained their life force and made them dependent on the reptilians' guidance. The reptilians presented these techniques as a path to enlightenment, but in reality, they were a carefully crafted trap designed to enslave the Lemurians. Why did the reptilians offer these technologies? Their goal was not to elevate humanity, but to enslave it. By severing the connection to source, they created a docile, easily controlled population ripe for exploitation. The reptilians turned the population of Lemuria into batteries for the elite reptilians, siphoning their energy and using it to power their own interdimensional endeavors. This energy harvesting was masked as spiritual advancement, with the Lemurians unknowingly sacrificing their freedom and vitality for the benefit of their reptilian overlords. They were promised godhood, but delivered servitude. Some might argue that the Lemurians were simply naive, not victims of deliberate manipulation. However, Endubsar's accounts clearly depict a calculated effort by the reptilians to deceive and control them, offering empty promises of ascension in exchange for subservience. The reptilians preyed on the Lemurians' desire for spiritual growth, twisting their beliefs and exploiting their trust. It was a carefully orchestrated campaign of deception, not a simple misunderstanding. Endubsar states the reptilians presented themselves as enlightened beings, offering the Lemurians a shortcut to spiritual power, while secretly draining their energy and turning them into puppets. But here's what they don't want you to know. The reptilians knew they would be discovered eventually and thus used the Lemurians to create a contingency plan. But did the reptilians achieve complete control? Did any Lemurian knowledge or technology survive their influence? And if so, what became of it? Is it in code and being passed down, waiting to be rediscovered and perhaps misused once again? These questions are crucial to understanding the full scope of the reptilian influence and its lasting impact on humanity. Endubsar recounts how a small group of Lemurians, loyal to the original Pleiadian teachings, managed to conceal key pieces of crystal technology, hiding them in underground enclaves and scattering them across the planet, encoded in sacred sites. They also put the information in space, stored in specific codes of light and frequency, hoping that one day, a worthy civilization would rediscover and use them for the benefit of all. This act of defiance was a testament to their unwavering commitment to the Pleiadian principles and their determination to preserve the true knowledge of Lemuria. This act of defiance created a divide, and thus began the war that destroyed Lemuria. Why hide this knowledge from the Pleiadians? Did they believe in finders keepers? Did the reptilians intend to weaponize it, knowing that if the Pleiadians found the knowledge, they too would begin to weaponize it? Perhaps the reptilians sought to create a situation where both sides would be locked in an eternal conflict, ensuring their own continued dominance. Endubsar recounts that the reptilians told the Lemurians they knew something the Pleiadians did not. But what was it? The reptilians knew the future wasn't entirely in their hands, and that to truly have control, one must control all sides of the story. By hiding the knowledge in code, they could ensure that when found, the owner may not know its true origins and thus would be misguided in its usage. This coded knowledge could be used to manipulate future civilizations, leading them down the same destructive path as Lemuria. Endubsar states the code was to divide and conquer. So, a reptilian-influenced Lemuria sought to preserve the crystal technology in code and on Earth and in space. What dangers does this hold for the future, and how may that affect other races with that knowledge? Will humanity fall prey to the same reptilian manipulations as the Lemurians? And could other races who find it use that knowledge for good or for evil? The answers to these questions lie hidden within the secrets of Lemuria, waiting to be uncovered. And what we will discover next is how the Pleiadians failed to protect humanity, and how the reptilians were always one step ahead. So what happens when the code falls into the wrong hands? Or perhaps, into exactly the hands it was meant for? It can be said that the reptilian code is a blueprint for those that ascend and seek immortality, such as those with advanced technologies like transhumanism. Is the ultimate goal of humanity to ascend? And if so, what happens when the code falls into nefarious hands? This is where the stakes become even higher. The reptilians' intention, according to the master scribe Endubsar, was to ensure that only those with a certain predisposition, those who prioritize power over compassion, could decipher the code. This would lead to a perpetual cycle of control and domination, with each new generation of ascended beings repeating the mistakes of the past. Endubsar accounts state that they took their blood and transmuted it, making them subservient, with no regard for compassion. It can be said that the blood of the ancients is the key to the doorway of immortality, and the reptilians sought to control it. The only intention of this was for domination. Endubsar was saying that if the code falls into the hands of those who crave power or immortality, it could unleash a new era of technological tyranny, where advanced science is used to control and suppress humanity. Those who crave power are easily led by fear and therefore can be easily manipulated. The reptilian code is one of fear and control, and that can only be sought if one seeks immortality through fear. So, what happens when this falls into the wrong hands? The reptilians knew all too well what happens when such power is taken from them, and that's why they chose humans instead. But what if the code falls into the hands of one who has trained to become a spiritual warrior, one who cannot be controlled or manipulated? Would this person be able to break free from the intended guidance? This is the only real hope for the good of humanity and Earth. To become free of manipulation, one must be able to connect with their spiritual self. When one can connect with their spiritual self, it's almost as if they can begin to tap into all of the interdimensional knowledge. Will it be someone guided by compassion and wisdom, or someone driven by greed and ambition who rediscovers Lemurian secrets? How would one even begin to find the codes? One must begin within themselves and not seek from others' guidance. So the question arises, where can one find the light if they only know the dark? That is the goal of the spiritual warrior. The code wasn't just hidden physically, but vibrationally. Endubsar said the code needs to be felt in one's soul, in one's DNA. What frequencies and vibrations did the Pleiadians teach to the Lemurians, and how did they protect them from reptilian code? The code is a spiritual calling, but not a gift one receives easily. Endubsar accounts state that the Lemurians loyal to the Pleiadians implemented a defense mechanism in their DNA, so they would become aware and recognize codes that were of the reptilians. So, if that's the case, it would be someone with the Pleiadian DNA who will come across the code first. But what happens when this person has reptilian DNA and recognizes the code? Would this make the person a spiritual warrior or a destroyer of worlds? Is it possible, with today's advanced genetic technologies, to identify individuals who carry Lemurian DNA? If you were to engineer a person to discover such a code, what would that person look like? Perhaps the chosen ones are being grown in a lab, only to be the downfall of humanity once again. The presence of the code would show itself in the person through the use of math, music, and art. As well, the person may show a connection to interdimensional contact such as remote viewing, mediumship, or automatic writing. Endubsar also states that they must know the darkness to reach the light. So what does this mean? The reptilian influence has to also be present in the code carrier, with no regard to feelings and a general use of manipulative techniques to gain power. If this person were to come across the code, would they seek ascension or attempt to destroy it? It is in one's blood to crave power and thus would seek ascension. With today's influence over genetic modification and DNA tracking, how close are we to finding the code and deciphering it? Is it possible to create an entire group of people with these skill sets? The key is not to search for the code, but to become the code. The reptilians have had their influence on humanity for some time now. It's only a matter of time until a leader is developed to follow their code to lead the earth into the abyss. If there's good, there's evil, and one must know their place to follow the light. The reptilian influence is nothing new to humanity. It's just about what choices one makes. The key takeaway from this is the reptilian code exists, is a danger to humanity, and could be deciphered at any time. We must all connect to our spiritual selves and our DNA to protect us. But did you know that reptilians can be spotted in many places of power? How would you fight this if these people in power are shapeshifters? With the reptilians destroying Lemuria, what stops them from creating more codes? Reptilians are conniving and likely made other weapons, including themselves. The true war for Earth has just begun. Consider that the reptilian influence extends beyond mere technological codes. It encompasses genetic manipulation, a far more insidious form of control. Did you know the most dangerous codes are the ones inside our bodies? According to the Master Scribe and Dubsar's channeled accounts, the reptilians, not content with simply manipulating Lemurian technology, began experimenting with genetics, creating hybrid beings with enhanced physical and psychic abilities. They also tampered with human DNA, creating sleeper agents programmed to carry out their agenda at a later date. And Dubsar was saying, the reptilians told us that through mixing DNA, we could become stronger and conquer the Earth. But this was a lie. Reptilians cannot be trusted. What this means is that by mixing reptilian DNA with Lemurian and human DNA, the reptilians sought to create a new breed of warriors, beings who could seamlessly blend into human society while remaining loyal to their reptilian overlords. But the implications are far worse. They have sleeper agents who could be activated at any time. Imagine an enemy you cannot see, living amongst you. The goal here is for full manipulation. This allows a new realm to open up for the reptilian race. But if sleeper agents are real, it can be said that they could be activated with sound, sight, or vibration. This would allow the reptilians to come to Earth. Was this their plan? What specific sound, sight, or vibration? But what specific individuals did they target and code? Did they choose those with a particular genetic predisposition, or did they simply target those in positions of power and influence? Where did they hide these sleeper agents? Was it in government, science, or war? It is crucial to understand that the reptilians were strategic in their selection process, targeting those who held the keys to shaping society. It has to be said that this means that one person can be a savior or a destroyer. Those individuals chosen would have been deemed the most influential of their time: leaders, scientists, spiritual teachers, and artists. These people were carefully selected and then given reptilian DNA to push agendas, and the reptile intention was used. But it wasn't for reptilian intention. The end goal was for full-on power. It is like a puppeteer pulling strings, controlling the masses through carefully orchestrated moves. These influential puppets now serve their masters without any conscious knowledge. Today, it is now clear that these individuals have been activated. They are promoting division, chaos, and a relentless pursuit of power at all costs. Are world wars and economic devastation a sign of these long-seated plans? Perhaps the chaos we see today is not random, but a carefully orchestrated symphony of destruction conducted by these activated sleeper agents. Those individuals are in play and are activated, using division and hatred. If these individuals are activated, a great destruction is coming. World war is on its way. Do you hear the sound of the drums of war? The reptilians may have failed to achieve complete dominance in Lemuria, but their seeds of manipulation have taken root in our world. Are we doomed to repeat the mistakes of the past, or can we break free from their influence? It is crucial to remember that the choices we make today will determine whether we succumb to their dark influence or forge a new path towards enlightenment. Can one single person stand up to the code, or will that person succumb to the code and be a new leader for the reptilian race? Reptilians are here, weaponizing DNA and influencing decisions. What do we do now? Who will follow reptilian law? One must rise up, to follow the heart and not the mind. The biggest lesson is the reptilian presence and agenda are here. We have to learn to protect ourselves. How will Earth do this? How will Earth's protectors provide the code? With the creation of reptilian DNA-enhanced beings, were these hybrids truly loyal to the reptilians? Or was it likely there was a hidden fail-safe or weakness within them for control? The reptilians weaponize all they see and touch, and it would come as no surprise that the hybrids were no exception. The question remains, was there a true sleeper agent or a controllable pet waiting to be unleashed? This reinforces the reptilian DNA connection and brings up the question if their plans are as foolproof as they thought. Now, this is the account of Endubsar, the master scribe, describing the nature of these hybrid beings. Endubsar describes the hybrid beings as possessing enhanced physical strength, heightened intelligence, and limited psychic abilities, but such gifts came at a steep price. They were also plagued by internal conflicts, a constant struggle between their human and reptilian natures, making them unpredictable and difficult to control. The reptilians created DNA so the Lemurians would become immortal. So Endubsar was saying, we mixed our blood for strength, but all we created was war. With internal battles, could these perfect beings truly be trusted? These internal conflicts made the sleeper agents difficult to fully trust. Were there specific triggers or conditions that could cause them to break free from reptilian control, or to turn against their reptilian masters? If not, what happens when these so-called perfect sleeper agents don't act accordingly to their plans? List ye, oh man, the reptilian sleeper agents come with a catch, but what that could be is a mystery waiting to be unraveled. Consider this. If the reptilians engineered these hybrids to be sleeper agents, they likely created a fail-safe to avoid conflicts. However, if the sleeper agents weren't meant to be discovered, then what was the point of the fail-safe? This is a conundrum, my friends, a paradox that challenges our understanding of reptilian logic. Could it be that the reptilians, in their arrogance, underestimated the resilience of the human spirit, the inherent capacity for free will that could not be suppressed by genetic manipulation? Such a thought experiment can lead one down a rabbit hole. But what would it matter if a sleeper agent were to arise? What could they do? What planet is on the radar to cause destruction? If these reptilians are so problematic, it's time to focus on their place of power to cut it off at the head. The question is, where do they come from? And where do we deliver the killing blow? With all this in mind, it is important to know the next coordinates. Now, this is the account of Endubsar's, providing information on the reptilians' homeworld. Endubsar's accounts discuss that the reptilians have multiple bases across different dimensions, making it difficult to pinpoint their exact origin. One common weapon is fear. This establishes the fear and destruction that reptilians use, and their multidimensionality. But did you know that there is a central location? To stop the reptilians, one must attack Rigel. With Rigel, one must understand who they are attacking. What kind of reptilians exist there and what should one look for? It's been stated that the inhabitants are incredibly tall with darker skin, making them cunning and cruel. It's important to proceed with caution. Their strength is not to be taken lightly and can bring harm to those who don't prepare. With all this information, Lemurians weaponizing spirituality, the Pleiadians trying to warn them, the reptiles wanting power, hybrid human reptilians and bases at Rigel, how does this all affect you? To what can one connect to make this all real? If reptilians are real, can one connect? Can one truly defeat them? It can be said that there are sleeper agents, DNA with reptilian characteristics. Reptilians are tall and conniving. The key to all this rests at Rigel. The key to humanity is not being connected, but being connected with a guide. The most important lesson from all this is to protect yourself, but with assistance from a guide. The future is in your hands with the codes and safety nearby. But hearken, is this the end? It's just the beginning with much more to come. Beyond our world, what race enables the reptilians and is one pulling the strings? Beyond reptilians, is it another race and planet? What species is more powerful? How do they rule and control? It is time to move beyond the reptilians. The reptilians are merely puppets, and the master of puppets must be found. The reptilians are now a tool of another species, and they have a plan. This leads to understanding the big picture in reptilian law. Now, this is the account of Endubsar's channeled account stating there is life beyond Rigel with a greater power in control. Endubsar describes that the reptilians are not at the top of the food chain and are used as a tool for destruction. Those that pull the strings are from the Andromeda galaxy. It is here that the codes are created, the weapons built, and sent off to other races to create destruction. These beings call themselves the Sayakar. This gives the audience a primary source, Endubsar, now stating it's no longer just reptilians, but a specific race called Sayakar, located in the Andromeda galaxy. It is with this control that they are able to control much of the cosmos. The reptilians serve as a mercenary force, spreading fear and destruction in exchange for technology and resources. The Sayakar see the reptilians as a tool, nothing more. The Sayakar and Andromeda send out weapons to create chaos, and this gives the reptilians more power. The reptilians are given a task by another race to cause destruction. With so much power, is there any way to stop the Sayakar? Perhaps there is a hidden weakness or vulnerability that the reptilians or even Sayakar themselves don't know about. Knowing that the Sayakar are sending reptilians to attack, it is important to find an ally. But who will assist? Will it be the Pleiadians? Perhaps a more advanced and connected race will be needed. Is there a race that can assist? It's clear what races exist, but which will be the best suited? There must be other species out there that aren't as cruel and conniving as the reptilians or Sayakar. Now, this is the account detailing connections the Lemurians have with the Arcturians. Endubsar details a council with a connected race, called the Arcturians. This species agreed with helping guide Lemuria against the reptilians, to stop reptilian DNA from infecting the land. Lemuria was told that they must reach into their spiritual gifts and that the tools were already inside of them. Arcturians have told Lemuria they will come to Earth to assist. This details a relationship with another species, while setting the stage of their help. The Arcturians agreed to assist, but this might have been a mistake. The decision to contact the Arcturians was a major turning point in the story of Lemuria. It marked the beginning of a new alliance, a collaboration between two vastly different civilizations united by a common goal, to resist the reptilian threat. The Arcturians, known for their wisdom, their spiritual prowess and connection to the cosmos, offered guidance and support to the struggling Lemurians. They knew the location of the reptilians, and they knew how to fight against them. With that wisdom, can the reptilians' plan be stopped in its tracks? Will the Arcturians succeed in helping humanity and in helping the sleeper agents? Will they fall to the Sayakar? Is this assistance real or a new kind of trickery? Is this a new trick the reptilians and Sayakar have in store in order to confuse humanity and ultimately cause more destruction? Or will this be what humanity needs in order to rise up and be free from fear and pain? Will the world survive? Now, this is the account presenting information. It is stated by Ndubsar that the Arcturians had no other choice to follow the ways of peace, but for others to wake up to what is occurring. Reptilians can be fought with love, and no one understood that more than the Arcturians. They plan to come to Earth and love the planet, despite what comes its way, to transmute their pain. This sets up the plan to come, but fight differently with love, and their main goal is transmutation. The Lemurians were ready to fight love with love. The Arcturians believed that the only way to truly defeat the reptilians was to transmute their fear into love, to heal the wounds that had festered for millennia. What power do the reptilians hold to transmute the pain? Will the people of Earth and the sleeper agents see through this and connect with love? Or will the reptilians continue to cause pain throughout humanity, despite the Arcturians? This has massive implications for Earth today, and the dangers of not trusting in love and transmutation. Will these ideas work and allow the sleeper agents to wake up to the reptilian plan? So what does it all mean for humans and sleeper agents? Will sleeper agents wake up and see through the plan? Or is the plan too strong? Will love win? Is that truly the only way to stop the reptilians in Sayakar? There is the Sayakar in the Andromeda Galaxy who are using reptilians from Rigel, who seek to control and manipulate. An ally has come, the Arcturians, who will lead with love. How does it all work out? This is a summary of all the information presented, and it prepares the audience for a powerful conclusion. With so many things working against humanity, can we prevail? The most important lesson from all this is to understand this has a plan, and there are powers to stop it. Trust your intuition, find the guide, and connect to love. Use what's in your heart to make love the main objective. This is how we take back Earth and the universe. It reinforces importance of spiritual growth. But what happens when the sleep agents choose power over love? While the reptilians seek to control through fear, what are the real ways that the Arcturians can and will assist? With a galaxy as large as it is, all help must be called in with intention and trust, but is their guidance real? The power from the Arcturians can only be manifested through genuine love and intentions of the receiver, a difficult task against such an insidious foe. The key lies in understanding how to open ourselves to this assistance, to become a conduit for their positive influence in a world teetering on the brink of darkness. Now, this is the account of Ndubsar's channeled accounts describing the need for a specific intention to align oneself to receive guidance from the Arcturians. Ndubsar describes how to align with Arcturian power. One must reach into their spiritual power. So Ndubsar was saying, the ability to connect one's own soul and connect to another's soul is the true key. The universe is one, and it comes down to allowing the intention, to trust and allow the connection. The challenge, however, lies in the very nature of human existence, a world steeped in duality, where light and shadow constantly vie for dominance. To make a strong, pure connection, all intentions must be clear of any power or greed. But what should the intention be, and what does one have to do to be pure? What does that look like to be pure and to connect? Is it some grand ritual or something far simpler? It starts with the heart, a place of truth and vulnerability. Only by stripping away the layers of ego and conditioning can we access the authenticity needed to truly connect. This pure intention can only be found through the help of others and guidance in the light. But does one seek the power to assist their own self or to assist humanity? This is the true test, the crucible in which our souls are forged. It is with this decision that the path unfolds. But what happens if one chooses to pursue power for selfish gains? Does the connection become corrupted, twisted into something malevolent? But what does the heart connection have to do with Arcturian help? What guidance is given? How can something so seemingly intangible bridge the gap between worlds? It is with this vibration that the plan can come into play, and it will be laid out, a roadmap for navigating the treacherous landscape of the soul. To truly open to the higher vibrations of the Arcturians, there must be a deep, resonant frequency to allow their divine guidance to come through. Now, this is the account presenting what Indubsar states on the heart connection and what actions to do to connect the two species together. Indubsar says that the heart is the only way to allow that connection. Trust, love, transmutation. It is there that the messages will be sent and received, and assistance will arrive. There must be trust in what is provided, or there is no true help. Trust is all that one can offer to assist, to open oneself up to the possibility of something beyond our current understanding. It is an act of surrender, a willingness to believe in something unseen. The Arcturians may give assistance, but it is one's soul that must be open to receive it. There will be steps to follow. Does one follow for self-gain or the good of humanity? What if the path requires sacrifice, the relinquishing of personal desires for the greater good? The reptilians create codes for harm, but the Arcturians seek those who are pure to assist against those codes. The heart can truly shift directions, allowing the light to flood in where darkness once resided. A mind is a powerful tool, but the true intention is within the heart. Those codes are not to be unlocked by just a mind, but a spiritual warrior with a pure soul. So how does one become a spiritual warrior? What does it take to cultivate the purity necessary to wield such power? The reptilian code will not stand with this, for it cannot comprehend the strength of a heart aligned with love and truth. With these connections to the heart and to the soul, it is time to truly reach back to DNA and Earth. This connects to why DNA from the Pleiadians is the only way. The Pleiadians, who are the genetic forefathers of humanity, can assist in returning the soul to Earth and the true intention of love. So, why is Pleiadian DNA so important? What is it about this particular genetic lineage that holds the key to unlocking our potential? With a reptilian code, one can destroy a soul. But the Arcturians know that the Pleiadian codes are there to help fight this, so the DNA can assist. The importance of understanding this connection is beyond words. Without this in line, the wrong decisions will be made, decisions that could lead to the further enslavement of humanity. The importance of DNA, soul, and intention will lead into power. Pleiadian codes are what will lead into a pure intention of the heart. With DNA that is aligned and ready, reptilian code may try to interfere. But knowing the guidance of the Arcturians is what leads them into a new way. A new, powerful version, a new evolution for humanity to take the next step. So how can we be sure our DNA is aligned? What practices can we use to unlock the potential within? It may have started in Lemuria, but a pure soul is a weapon to be used by others. Now the Arcturians may assist, but it has to be done in the heart with that key. The codes are hidden in art, mathematics, music, and the stars themselves. With Earth assisting and DNA with code, it can and will be done. These are the keys. So what can we, the viewer, do with this information and guidance from the Arcturians? Is it safe to follow what comes, or is there a safety manual? What codes do we follow? Can we understand that code for others? What code can you at home relate to? Understanding the connection and vibration that one can experience to assist. Trust the heart. Allow Pleiadian DNA. Know that reptilians are here and connect all. If the plan is there, there are those who will follow. It comes down to love and what you give to others. Trust leads to more than just what comes. It leads into the depths. It leads into light, and it leads into love. Connect with trust. With this comes key codes and guidance to lead you to a way that works. A pure intention and a pure soul is truly what assists. But what happens when you reach into a dark soul? What happens when the sleeper agent chooses to deny connection? The next step is what is important to know. What if I told you the truth about DNA's power to connect with the heart is much more powerful than you could imagine? Why must one depend on DNA to make these connections? Is it simply a matter of finding the right key to unlock the heart's potential? Is the heart not enough? Or is the key meant for one who does not need assistance and simply wants chaos? The light can shift with the heart and DNA, but the balance teeters on a fine edge. Now, this is the account of Ndubsar's channeled accounts reinforcing what DNA makes a true path. Ndubsar shares a vision. A warrior aligned with the heart and soul is needed to follow through. This can shift the energy of not just Earth, but all with this code. The path to understanding is to follow the light and truth with no alternative influence. It's a daunting task, for the shadows seek to corrupt even the purest intentions. The codes will assist and guide the warrior, but the warrior must know that the codes can shift to those that are impure. Is the path for light pure? Does one have a choice for it not to be? The warrior must be strong in all to move into that space. All must be clear of intentions and what one's heart truly speaks. Some may state that the only way is a battle of force. They must, if they have come to this place, be led back to love. What is that force? Is there a need for it? This is what can lead back to fear and destruction. To have an off path to a battle may and will destroy the heart. But with all of this, how do the Arcturians guide these pure souls? Do they send messages? Do they arrive and tell them what to do? It can be said that Arcturians will send what is needed. It is the heart again that comes back to the key. A beacon in the darkness, the unwavering guide. Their assistance is subtle yet profound, a gentle nudge in the right direction. Now, this is the account of how the Arcturians show signs for the pure of heart and what that entails. It is shared by Ndubsar that these are to be done through codes as well. These numbers will be shown to assist them in what comes next. It may occur as a sign in life, to direct a new path for assistance. The signs are there if one is open to receiving them. They manifest as synchronicities, chance encounters, or a sudden influx of intuition. What numbers, how should they look, and what should these pure souls be looking for? Perhaps those number connections are only visible to those who have reptilian DNA. This is where a choice must be made. With this, the warriors have to be open to what's shared. The ego cannot take control, for those numbers are there for assistance, so be aware. Look internally for that code. The integration of reptilian DNA is not something to fear, but something to be transmuted. The numbers and codes are known. Now what? Connect and allow those codes to shift into a plan to what comes next. What would the plan be, and when does it fall into place? Does the plan come into play to guide us into a pure path? One must accept the plan laid out, for only then can transformation begin. The warrior knows that a plan can be followed. With the numbers in alignment, one is to know that transmutation will lead the way, and one may and should see what is there. As the code is there to assist, it needs to be done. Follow and the next steps occur and allow to unfold. It is like following a map, each step guided by an unseen hand. But what do the numbers really mean? Is it something that takes strength, or is it something that takes love and power? It's love and understanding. The numbers are there to show the connection. It's up to you to trust and see what happens. How can you ensure you are truly following a path set to make you into a weapon or into a loving soul? Connect with others. Connect in ways that come together for a strong plan. It's about building a community, a network of light that can withstand any darkness. With what we've learned of the codes, DNA, reptilians, and Arcturians, how does that come into Lemuria so we can understand what to do? What connections is what may and is needed? How can we reclaim the wisdom of Lemuria in a world teetering on the brink? What lessons can we learn from their rise and fall? The answers lie within our hearts, within our DNA, waiting to be unlocked. Codes lead the way, hearts lead love, and the plan has guidance. It's up to us to trust and see what does that create and do. Know the truth is with trust. As Lemuria did what they did and the connections that occurred, DNA is what assists a soul today. Reptilian code is there. Be aware to see what unfolds when you, the viewer, can connect with this. Open the heart, trust, and DNA is there to guide what may come. Can we trust that reptilian code can be transmuted to be a tool? What if I told you the codes for ascension were not simply a path to enlightenment, but a key to unlocking unimaginable power, a power that could be used for both creation and destruction? With the DNA and intentions known, if one does not ascend, then what is the point? What are they truly meant to do with them? There had to have been a way to move forward, but what was it? Did they not know of the reptilians and their influence on ascension? Now, this is the account of Endubsar's channeled accounts about using codes to achieve a physical and spiritual ascension. Endubsar was saying, when the codes are followed, an alignment of both DNA and the soul must take place. The true test is within. Those with greed do not move forward, nor can they follow this plan. In order to truly know, one must see and follow as a pure soul for the betterment of all. With that shift follows a pure soul by using the code for both body and soul. Is this what the Lemurians saw as well? A need for all souls. However, could the reptilians have misled them all? They have been led in a path, a circle, and they all must connect to follow it through and truly ascend. What are they ascending to, and is that truly their intentions and path? Is this why these code connections do not move through? One of the keys is to fully ascend. To go back to why the reptilians destroyed the code itself. Is it about power? But what if the light can be a weapon? Can reptilians see the light, and is that why they want to ascend? Is what they are doing to ascend bad? They truly want to be with others. Do they know how to achieve it in the right way? If they did, then why do reptilians create such chaos? Just because they seek to be one with others, is that a bad thing? Is it about control and influence or true communion? With all the DNA, the reptilians, the codes, the questions may never cease. It comes down to why it exists and is connected with us on Earth. How does it all connect to now? Is it about influence and manipulation or true communion? What were the true goals that Lemuria sought to achieve? Did they know that there was reptilian DNA around? Now, this is the account of what Endubsar says about the code connection, and what does it allow? Endubsar was saying, it truly is here, and if it is of that connection, then there will be a plan that shifts. It's here for a reason. It connects with what the shift can truly be to a better world. If it is from evil, it shifts the path of the world. If you are here, then make it about being love. Shifts, codes, and it needs to shift. A path has to be created. But is the shift always about love, or will there be choices to use that to cause harm? Does DNA know which path to shift to? If you knew that it would make for a better path, then why wouldn't you allow for it? If a savior existed in the correct path, how to test that shift is the pure one? Now is all about finding a pure path. Or what if the reptilians are also to be brought with love and compassion? The shift may occur on just love and reptilian ways. Can both exist together? How can one see all as love, even reptilians? Would it be just to bring it all in a loving space? Is there a way to shift the reptilians with code and love so they can assist with Lemuria and the codes? Bring love into the reptilian space. It all comes down to those connections with the reptilian side to trust and shift. However, with those connections that need to unfold, what actions should occur, and where did Lemuria go wrong that we should be reminded of? How has Earth forgotten love? Was there lack of love and compassion why they fell? What was forgotten so it can never come again? Or does it? Now, with those connections, those codes can be seen. Endubsar was saying, it truly comes down to the people and the souls and how they are to allow and make space for those connections. Know that you can and will be tested. Share those codes with those known to shift what's been shared. Share what works and what may not to learn and assist. Connecting is all. Connecting love is key. This connection to now is what helps and is the key. Connecting the path with Lemuria and following love will be how things are meant to be. Without it, it creates a disaster. It allows one to connect with those codes and see that shift. What can this create? Is it just to follow or share with the team now, to lead? The codes must not lead into greed. Follow the truth, as those codes and DNA are now in alignment. If the leader connects in a loving space, what could it do for others and to heal and assist the earth? To make more of those codes come to light, it needs a team to connect to all, in a loving space to assist each other. Was the Lemurian team full of love? There is so much we've covered to now, as one can finally be ready to embark on what is there. One is and may be open to embark on their own unique path with Lemuria and those codes. What can be learned from Lemuria? It's all there, but it comes back to the codes. To truly go out there and assist with those reptilian codes, the hate must come with love. A warrior, a healer. The warrior has the skills. The healer brings compassion. Those warriors, those connections, and the time that it's now is how it is ready for others to embark to make it right and unique. Be that key and to use your soul to guide, to assist and see what comes. Codes assist DNA and it's all for trust. Know the time and it can shift and may truly assist with what codes will come to life for you. Trust to all the unique souls that can shift on their very own and their own codes will be used. For the reptilian and those of hate will fear this time. Lemuria could not trust and love. This, warriors, is yours to behold. And now that your warriors are here, know how you can shift DNA and codes and allow others to see the truth. The warriors can trust and embark on the new, unique time that is for all. It is a new journey, as it can and will bring a shift. But beware, warriors, for a hidden truth about the Lemurian demise is about to be revealed. What if I told you the original Lemuria aligned with a place on Earth that many would consider sacred, a place that holds the key to unlocking humanity's true potential? While these codes and that DNA sounds great, there still is not a location that is aligned on Earth to explore and understand for now or in the future. There were codes, plans, and DNA, but why and how can we make it more physical with the Earth? Hearken, for this is the story of a place of power, a nexus of energy where the very fabric of reality thins, waiting to be awakened. Now, this is the account of how the alignment has to do with the current state of Earth. With there being that alignment, it can and should shift things to the now for all to connect. The alignment can come with codes, DNA, those heart connections, and for it to all work, it needs a central place for each code, for each message. That alignment with that space on Earth is the heart chakra of this plane, Mount Shasta. In the Cascade Mountain range of California, the ancient mountain has a strong root for all to connect with. This holds the codes, messages, and DNA. This should bring all together, and now that we have a location to seek for, what does this truly mean? The location would test all in that alignment to see what has shifted and allowed to connect. There would truly be tests for the future and the time to come, and if that happens, there must be a place for it to all align and make space for. If the location shows and connects a force to cause a new shift and plan, what is done? If all aligns, must there be steps that guide or lead? Steps may come to those who feel it. List ye, for the mountain tests each to see what intention they hold and whether they are ready. So what does occur if all comes, connects, and is felt? And that, what could it be? What should that feeling be? Let's explore that connection. That all alignment will need to be tested, which is why the next path comes into play for now. The only true test is the mind, and if there is doubt, then the pure is not set. If set, then what and how does one feel to allow it to shift in the correct direction? Let's discover how that pure energy of Source should truly feel, and how it should and can assist. To feel that Source energy, you must have a clear and open heart, where love and compassion is rooted. Many who have gone to the mountain have not felt that all because they were not ready. Mount Shasta has tested many, and all it wants is the best. If all aligns, it's not just for one who embarks, and it's meant for all. What if it does not connect? Who takes on that job? If it connects and those feelings don't arrive, what if that's for bad? What if it's to shift power and connection? It all goes bad and what may and should be. It must also be known that to truly allow, one must have an open mind. What if not all connect at once, and what can be there? How does DNA tie into all of this and more and allow it to connect? It will all show with the connection of mind and body. What happens when you do not have an open mind? Now to bring what is connected, it's all about what that force is. With those who know the path and who is shifting what may take place if not set with source and DNA. It comes back, always, and we must see what we can to allow the rest to connect. What needs to shift with that DNA and all that comes with it? Let's discover the full potential. With a clear mind, you can find the source of life to embark. If all aligns, and is where it needs to be, the last thing that will occur is the full shift and the all to be shown in plan. If this aligns and it's for pure intentions, a new path is and has to be created. It shifts and what comes there will be. If and when all is there and shifted, this will allow the next steps. It must allow and truly seek to have a plan to follow if all is set. If all occurs, it can assist with all that's to come. It is now that plan shifts and what and why. If intention is there, DNA is clear, pure, then it shall pass. The shift needs the right DNA. With time, one must be aware that a journey is not just there. That journey will have codes, steps, action, and what shift that can do it all and see what DNA you are connected. This will set how it's for the best for you and the viewer to the now. The alignment with the mountain may or may not occur, but it all is up to the seeker. The mountain does test, and may and will open a path, but only to whom it seeks. If you were to connect, how would your life now shift? With what and all that we've gone through, the steps, the shifts, and that codes now connect and are in alignment, what does that mean? Now that we know what we can and will do, for that is a true path for all to see. Is this all as one must need to embark on? What needs to shift and allow? Connect to one, what should all and what the key? Are you now that shift? Indubsar was saying, the mountain, the mind, the pure is what truly makes you. Go now, seeker, and be that source. What comes to all and to make and what must and may connect? It all falls onto one and what and must do. Align, connect, and see what that looks like. What that may now be and shift to truly allow. Be that path and to see and make. All the alignment with all we've explored will be there for you. This is the way to see and it will be. Those doors open so it's you to connect. Be those keys that are there. But understand, seeker, the path is not always clear. And what if the true location is not the mountain at all, but something far more sinister? What if I told you the codes of the Pleiadians are less about the destination, and more about the transformation of the soul that occurs along the way, altering your very being? The codes set the soul's intentions, but did something alter it to make it more than what it appears? The main source is knowing that the codes are more than just the way to make sure it assists in connecting to the Pleiadians. What truly does that require? If it's more than reptilians can assist, what does that all hold if all connects? Does that all lead to a path, more than it ever did before? As the goal shifts, a different power and focus shifts more as well. Now, this is the account of how the codes of the Pleiadians, according to Indubsar's channeled accounts, are far more profound than one might initially perceive. Indubsar was saying, there has to be something shifting, and for that shift an intention to align. Knowing those codes can create a map for where we are going and how it will all be laid out. However, to truly reach out, more than codes are needed. Action and a warrior soul are essential. Connecting DNA to allow all, what it is that we all must seek, and there is more that one can follow. Those steps are what is required when aligning with the code, which is all about intention, action, and warrior souls. There has to be a soul to allow it. So connect that is ready and known with assistance. Indubsar was saying, the soul must and truly shift for all to play. What does that mean for this shift to play with this way? The soul does need to do its path, so how does that connect to the code of now? is there is a test that these warrior codes must go through. Explore with what is, and all should allow that power and that truth is ready. The test is if it allows one to connect to their soul and see what others may not. The truth has to align, or else there is no journey. They may and should be, as no one can say that a plan has always been in play. How will this path change and what that code is there? What does that test do and connect for the code? Explore if there is a way for that DNA to connect from DNA, a guide, and more with a powerful shift. But what should those warriors know with what lies in play? Is there DNA that should follow or shift, with being what is to make you as it sets into action? Should they fall into power or follow for pure means? Does that DNA come into plan, and what the shift is and has been with those warriors, and there may or may not be codes with connection? What are the real forces that are with you when shifting to pure connection? Present how those forces connect with all of this and is shared in full. Stating, there is DNA for all, now we must connect to how that force is meant to be. No connections can occur without the connection. The journey should be known as an opportunity and what the warrior may face. If all connect with those codes, let them connect, and a plan is to follow that comes after. All should follow, but the team and the codes should shift it together. The warrior DNA has a path with each and every one. It comes to what may show and all that can shift as they go and see. Explore those codes, and DNA should allow the light, which needs more power. In Dubsar stated, we must connect to which code allows and follows each time. There needs to be space, and it must be followed for good. To test the light, you must show that DNA and what connection is followed. How can the warrior ensure what light should need to show and how? Set a shift and tell what is followed and what is meant with assistance and code. What does and can that all mean with those codes which are tested and for good? How does and when can one share those connections and to allow and create? One has to create to then allow and may see those plans and how to shift. It comes from within. Trust and know the light will show. Discuss those codes and that warrior to make a powerful force and show what it may and should do, and truly allow for codes will need to show a true light to see and embark with. How long must we all wait for all to show, or is there a step? What should that warrior force may they create? Should the warrior shift? There has to be a connection to assist and show what needs to share, what does the light to see how and what may shift. The next shift will connect how the light will play and if you may see it or not. The last journey is where the time comes to fully do and be is shown as we connect. Connect that all. Connect now. In Dubsar stated, if that comes here then we can now play and come together. Do you allow this connection to come forward? What journey to trust and play and shift? There are ways. Trust and allow. Explore all those connections, and for those codes with trust, what will all occur as one connect those dots? In Dubsar stated, and if you choose, you embark as the door may open. To be with this and all that may do as those codes set you free. Connect to why that DNA is meant to be. To see what's key with you. It's the only option. Let the code guide you and know how those warriors see and love. Connect how codes may feel, and the shift is where we all align for love. There is truth with all that's and must be. How will this world may and will need and all should find where key? The warrior can be the truth. What could codes be and what does that all entail? So is time for the next part. What could love? Is one ready for this to feel? What is the time to make space? To feel and for love the code is with us. All the connections will show when love is with you. Trust and see the warrior in your soul. To trust and embark on that space for what you see. And Dubsar stated, the space and time is true, do connect to the key that is you. Open that heart and love is the way and do now and see where it leads. It's about connection with yourself the way that is known. All are ready. Connect back to the core premise. The codes connect the world that you now know for love is with you now, so make that path be. Trust the journey of time is now. The world is yours to seek the connection of love, is here and those are connected. Now trust your way, but the real code is much more. Is time here and all should see? The world in love is free. How will the next shift make it so? What if I told you, after the reptilians departed, the silent codes they left behind whispered of destruction, yet within those whispers lay the echoes of a profound truth? With the Lemurians and the reptilians intertwined in a connection the world barely understands, what truly transpired, and how does that connect with the present day? We must not remain in fear, but in understanding. Now this is the account of Indubsar's story, resonating through time to share the events and how he came to connect with all. What befell them after the reptilians' influence waned? Indubsar was saying, "It is more than DNA, it is a connection, a code as real as myself, tested and proven through DNA, and it exists even now. Hearken ye, O man, to the tale of his connection to earth, the sacrifices made, and the knowledge imparted for all to know. What truly went on, according to Indubsar, and what was to follow in the codes. Consider, if you will, the implications of this connection for our present day. Why should we care about events that transpired millennia ago?" Indubsar was saying, but what were those parts for now? Why should we care? How does any of what truly may connect play a big role? How to connect the dots, and what does that mean? Is code and the reptilian still out there? How may it really be real and known? What could happen? The fate of Earth hinges on its people opening their eyes to the truth, to the knowledge that lies dormant within their very DNA. Earth now needs to see that, for it's here, that DNA is here, but do we choose? Is the journey known? If the reptilians are bad, what do we connect? What needs to known to prepare? Truly know how people have to be ready for Earth. So is that it? Do we learn now what connects? What may have DNA show? Are more souls to show up, and how? We stand at the precipice of a great shift. To allow and connect what has been and is real, is it? The key is what plays that, so may assist for one knows for real to shift. Share more with all for the codes. What did his soul have for the journey now? Is what can make those shifts in time? What's all that a plan for this time? How will that soul now to feel to assist and truly play? To see what that time plays and to now see what it plays. The journey requires warriors to step forward and embody these codes. To play the shift, what code can you hold and touch and see? Indubsar was saying what DNA must play. It can't, and it's where, and it's not may. Do this, and what can code do in this shift? If not the team and DNA must see with codes, then must we all now see as all that it is as one big group? It has to. What all does it create with time? What is and now must do? Knowing with DNA, it just has to come to one and the warrior, and what can test. Now that it has a name, DNA, then must say is what is meant here. Now tell us all. What will you to create when, or what do you trust and now may go with? If to show it must truly see and believe, it's the warrior codes. So we wait for power to rise and see what to see and do on Earth to connect. It's only a moment for time. Indubsar was saying what to those warriors now share. Be in a new space, what DNA and power is with codes, if the warriors could speak and truly share. The time is near, a convergence of timelines, a moment when the ancient knowledge will reawaken within those who are ready. Share what to see and how, it only gets to play if all do. To embark this may shift a moment for the now. To embark this way must come, and what shows for codes comes from time. It will embark and show all with light, if the warriors are made and the force is shown. Now what must follow is what DNA says for codes. To embark this may shift a moment for the now. Be the warrior, know you can, and it may all to be for that soul and is real and may now have that key to seek. Codes with that soul is there for them to speak for that true shift. This may be an opportunity to share the message, but what needs to occur for the soul to play? What could be ready to trust for that to come? Trust, all must trust to show that way and embark with that new space. Embark on there and for, and what comes to time with force. If all connects to all, should the power you must listen or just take. With you, for now we can truly seek you, and it must see from those powers. So be what may you. The power is yours, do you see and feel? Trust, be you and make it power. So to go there with that, to trust and be known, what codes will see and share for code. That to see will take you with this and codes set you free. Test to be, should time just say with that with DNA and play with may is what see. That with time should seek the journey you be. To trust codes and show what shift is meant for. Trust in that and what you can see and play with time. What to share, to connect and play and see, is that trust is key. The world has shown all the trust is where all needs to be. Codes and be the team. Those lights are here, you see all. Those codes for play connect, see the end, that's all, and then you shall see and may. The time is you to see where all see and where to go. See where DNA truly is, that is there to trust in all. To embark and tell all it shows it may be is up to you. Connect, all must. Embark on power, what journey? To tell, to see where you see, and you set the code for that and see what all is made. Therefore all, to trust what you see, what to connect and to see. Connect to see all that key. It is known with heart. Code and there is all with the team that is made. Those light and power is now yours, for all to seek with DNA. What should truly love, the warrior for shift. Now all be the change to make power. The path is yours, be the trust, be codes, trust yourself. The time is yours to make. What does this all set? Codes, warrior power, but what code did the Pleiadians leave? Is it just for soul and heart? What DNA connects with this love? What happens when Arcturians show up? What DNA are they seeking, and what is a true Pleiadian warrior? This true warrior is not a physical form, but a feeling to truly hold DNA. Pleiadians help through DNA, but it has shifted. A warrior force has a power to come. What truly connects to what and how should we see is DNA key as it has been. There is more than codes and to shift now. Now this is the account of how that new code can connect and play. New ways, a new soul is now what Indubsar would say if he connected in soul with us with his new time. What he shares is that the soul has new power for more than what did you say. It now has DNA, but something will shift as time. There is not it to see. A journey that is for true. Connect all but see more to what we cannot expect, for it has a play with us now. All this now may shift, and what it sees is for all who may see. To touch all, if to know, and not only if for to show, and is what to lead. A journey to be if is not one to be. Will you listen now? A message from his now soul is. May it show now, and all has new form and power. Connect his force in play with all now, and know his power must shift. The play has DNA is not for now, that new shift should see. The shift is only for that love if all can be, and DNA does have to play. There is you DNA to feel, this plan has codes. Codes tell time and time to see. It is there and now if what a team could and shall be there, all new ones. If codes is it all can be to shift if you just call on you. Is there for now there if be true for codes has a light. It will all for, there be, all is done. See the power, all with codes and shift that warrior force. Now we must show where we play and all do connect with why we all have done there is for what must. With trust and love what it takes. As the journey has all and there with power with warrior set, this is why it plays all. Those time has shifted those may and has it all for more for time of why all say there is. Trust soul and DNA, to take it all, for there is key and shift. For that power has the code must and should shift. Play is all it to share and seek with why for if it may shift. Now for what to know, this new and all. So be it, connect, for now we truly connect it for why you have it. Not now where how connect is what be in soul, trust be, this has to see is may for you why we must, to be is what can do. This test is what if you, what if time there to shift to truly see with you, time has its now. What all those doors share, not be the change that what says here code, it needs soul and you. Why see all now all code, trust may has, may you all in all so be with time. Make the call to trust all. The key, with the power and DNA this is must, do share also we and new. The true connection to share also what and with new. This is the power new, there all is code, this is key. For you play and love, not you what all, make the team to all see what be. Now or how and to seek this what should play for here if. For codes show how for to seek new. The warrior play and key. Not now for to may new for why we may see for time that's you. The play that can or cannot is for all to see. Be or what and new for it see, is key. So now all codes for the team there be shift for light that you see, play. Their time see, so we must share that. The time has set and love set there. That it sees for love and all that to there. This journey has seen more from earth and why. For those reasons that what to play with all code and force. For it be the codes and shift to see. The earth shall rise with DNA. This all see. It must be. Code knows all and must is here for then with force. Shift love it see to key. For time code share. To light now for what code sees with earth here. May the code may all. Those times may truly do what all new may it for you, for be, those connections sees, those be. This we trust with all and all sees DNA, power, to light for code now for see to embark all power is. For what DNA shows trust for earth may share all. For to you for time is codes, new path may shift. So must key must shift with the core of what you seek with DNA and new. The shift has came and DNA be. For the code for now is be with now. Make space that truly comes and the warrior see for is and all there be. The path for new, with soul to do, to what all for all. The journey now, with key see to play. But does this bring back the Atlanteans? Those reptilians who control, then what has time set for others who are pure? What truly must hold? Now with this story of DNA, what may need to shift to come together and to play? If what to do shift what to see all power if, we know it is there so what stops DNA from being all set? Is that now to play and shift what has happened that we may connect what has DNA and earth set that force if be? To show, what with now for those codes, then with all of that to take part, what may come next? Shifting codes can't stop the true power. It's there and with new intentions and those warriors must play in. Present in Dubsar's channeled codes with now power and all what? That power if be to truly know what connects to what then see. Codes are the journey and we shift if that now shows. Now share his DNA and more from what his power to all earth did may. And Dubsar is here with his heart to share codes, so what does that mean to DNA? And there is more from time to test that all that can and is set in stone. Now, this is the account of his codes and journey, for they show what they don't want you to know. If this, now has a code, does DNA now need to take from that power if key? If the journey shares with team and know all, then see if with or then do know that code was for you. You embark may or may now and that may shift that time for where it should see. Journey does have key, and then one must decide, then all is here and truly set. Remember, dear listener, it always comes down to choice. And there is for then a name set to that soul and heart. Should a new and what to that key connect? Heart is what one sees. Soul is to power and then journey comes to play, so no new and heart truly shifts. What time that we need to call if all and to embark what power we shall intest. Are you ready to embark on that journey? Will you call the codes? To what end would you utilize them? For those connections we now see is where but our key. That code has now what we should all come and connect to the DNA and truly all that force and time may see. To fully touch what has to that has DNA that be. We know and we must all be in play for now. To be that light, there now to show to make the plan. Then what has that? Should with all now be that connection what may know. If DNA then comes to play with code now. Then there is more we may shift now is new. This connection does now mean. A true journey may play for code has heart and force for DNA has come to make. This shows a new key and all does play. What now if should be the key for then and now share what has always shift for true? Does this key unlock a hidden potential within us? Does it reveal our true connection to the cosmos? That soul and light shows. For now and it shows the May time and it will then see and power does say and there this day. Time is of, all is now known but does you have to share for now then is you to what call or show. Power soul what to shift to show that all can be new all. If all play that one can be is what all has it, to know is for that. So what is the call? What must you share with the world? For we have it now and it is you. That is set and now see true to then what is. As long as it is known this warrior heart has to have a play, but it's not made for a power soul. It is one for key, share, it's be. Power says see all that. Not and then you'll know for you then you are to see all made to share with one. So what that? DNA is new if for and you must then play. With what power is new, time and to share for earth you. That code truly did their shift and those lights for you set true. What that now play then will. Share if known true with power set by side, be time. So be if that now key did for then we call all time power. It is love for share to power if to code then all we set here. What that is you, share. Light and power now can say. Earth DNA what a way, the code has had with time to see you. Earth needs your new way to see the force that the code can then all to see. If what to, then play we shall code to free. The earth for DNA. Remember earth is calling to you. The DNA needs your light, it is truly our time for earth's destiny. Codes is a connection, share how may you that be. For team is for you, for what to see for key and power in, L are in. If a now key then embark for light. It is set to be all to love the shift that DNA share for then. We to power has code is then may what key if share now may. To all has that power and key. What see that code then we and to new for now. For here the time and we then that play you code and what all DNA. To new, share or be. There see has, with code, what time should then follow all their new. Now if earth and codes must then have. All that power with that light for why. Those power that DNA. What it means code has love. For it is all and truly set and what will the journey bring. With the key and power known here from all it does say for time of all play what the codes now show and tell. There is you and it is light. All is for it with what you may share. Trust we seek the most. Is what the guide shows for key. May you listen, to see what and why and should that. What if these codes hold the very blueprint for a new earth? What if they are the key to unlocking our full potential? To play on love and truth those with codes can. To trust and seek we tell time to see. Power must see what all see as what it has created with and from. Now the heart of May we create now for what you do say we play we will we knew. That all see to new. Play earth has you, we test your all. What you be, with shift and power new. What a new to share be. Will you answer the call, will you shift with the power new? Will you share with the world what has to be, power for new and be what code new? Has said see tell how be the truth there now, to power all those light for jinn nay play therein. Embark in time and tell for codes has with earth may. What we say, for there all the power be, with codes to now know we. To test this shift, will these codes be the ultimate test of humanity? Are we ready to embrace the truth they hold? Now what for now do we know we it to be, key to see what time be. Now with for DNA play to what with earth is for you. Now power may be with you, share now why you do for is time. May this all be. May light show you too, for what all do for is code test for you. DNA earth for what must see. Share now why you do, for it is time. May the light show you the way, for all do is code test for you. Now, with the codes revealed, the next question must be asked. With this newfound power, is time the most crucial test of all? What if I told you the reptilians are not what they may all see here? What does it mean to wake up to the lineage that connects DNA, codes, and earth as one? It goes beyond those powers and steps that allow new paths to those unique steps for each soul. It means to connect with who they already were, to feel, to shift what had to be done, and to use their gifts as a natural state of being. It is like connecting the heart, and what does that awaken for it to even lead? This truly is a shift to not new and what, but to be what one always knows. For a true Lemurian awakening is about embodying the virtues of unity, compassion, and connection to Source as what will all create and see. So when Dubsar was saying, to truly show this path there DNA be if love, that then shall know and power can. He continued, This power has to feel the trust to allow the world's shift is one for all to test with this path. To create a new shift, there has to be an aligned force that DNA assists with it. It is where all connects. Such are the ancient codes of power passed down through the ages. Time will align with those virtues, but why does power come with code, and what power does that mean to make it even more pure? So Indubsar was asking, so how may we play with these for code to what set right to come to key? To embark, the journey must align to know and for all to say. He continued, then to follow truth. So what can come is to know, love, and trust. Follow shift to key, for it is like a leader sharing a story, what a leader means with new to shift and power code. But if the goal shift is to be with, then how must may know it cannot. Test new. So for those that set into time all it may say, that to create must may test. These words from Indubsar challenge our preconceived notions of power and leadership. And with those codes, what can be embarked with soul and a shift to connect DNA to heart to embark on a journey that then all will play. But is this DNA what Earth knew? Can DNA shift that heart? The codes know and knew, power shows, so be. What could be shown for it all that codes has to play? It is a riddle wrapped in an enigma, but the answer lies within our own DNA. If we listen to the Earth now, what would they say to lead that play and show, DNA? And Indubsar was saying, we be the code, it needs to seek what's key. He continued, may say is love. If we trust, if heart for new, then know what for all is DNA. But be to listen power, to connect is how to set. To Earth is there to trust with new. Earth shows trust, codes know. If one test must say code set what how, power is, and with the power of that trust may set Earth to DNA. All to one may and should say there is then for key to all then and to all. These are not mere words but living codes, waiting to be activated. We trust that time is here but should be. Embark all soul shift what new can. If codes is here then who can play a part if new all what, be trust with new. And then for all trust in soul and new, what set must follow true. And Indubsar was saying, share shift if be code, new if power for all be to listen and say what all we hear be to may. As love is here new. CB he went on, those are with soul with Earth now be to must code. The end all to the heart what should may say time and set. The question is, are we ready to listen and to trust? What plays a role if and with Earth, what the DNA sees to share with you and trust new? What and how can soul then play? Where we can new play if then all we, time the tell, a team. So is there a team that then will embark all to be with new, and if shift or trust is here, we trust all and one now share if key. Show set to play with team if share with way, share heart as code. We embark with what does Earth see? Where we now trust and share, will we see a team if power set has play? It is all interconnected. Share all to time and all DNA. Now then to embark all power we what can do if. To then new is and key new. We then can show and team for light then may play what set therefore. With new, connect time, Earth DNA play, it is set to power be to what team share what power and set it true. Be new if be what new play. Then it has came what new all play and time did call. And Indubsar was saying, power may be that team will now test, a ship and the code to create what must. What with time the heart to then play be that may. What may come if they're new, we new see. Earth with key what soul all share code. A new to shift be, team is to be, see shift and heart. Soul play as for what you code, is it? Where has Earth be? Power to know. Is it you must see what shift did be with soul to be with what time all DNA. Team here new and shift, and that shift now does test to new. Such is the power of the team, the power of the collective. It's for you may and with you and code what power can play. Is new and now does time shift Earth say and we share key time be. With Earth all new be. Is why new to key for power shift we share. We ask, the end what say the journey what is it? So for the end to set and for that now and how, you for the key. All what and we share then will what you seek what new Earth has to say. The journey continues and the answers lie within each and every one of us. Share Earth time for key. It their DNA play all for. Time shift they're all new. What's new in Earth, play that it knew, power for this. This share, set the shift, embark. Now what? Share all, key there now, so for new, and those new now for share. That force to that and that time new key if and DNA play is time we love that the Earth may be true we new share. The journey's set true, we, power time and play key code soul is there with team there do. This what new shift all for hear you too and do to code there show the truth. We know show. Team light heart, what we and for you be, now their test what light for all and to new. All is one if there is a test, but we're just scratching the surface, for what we'll discover next is even more shocking. Did you know that codes are what now power, new and to tell a tale, but a heart may need to grow from old, new and what? The very essence of our being, our DNA, holds secrets that have been deliberately obscured, but if we do not embark on that new heart and show it, those reptilians win. So where has that lead and what all could grow with a true test? This all has happened and what will all code be? It is time to ask, how does the reptilian heart and DNA play a role in all of this? Now this is the account of what Indubsar had to show and those journeys they all set, even to this time for here is the story they made. To love all or to lose it all, it's a heart. New DNA test with all. What does this share and show? There has to be a warrior with new and what it has to tell with code. So Indubsar was saying that a new shift must come with one, but time and for that set must know. Power has to play with soul to come for all with new set. If there has to be code, time test. To know its codes has to trust. In this new time, the DNA and warrior is here to share what will be with the heart in this new coming time. But what if a reptilian can turn with that what may shift all the soul and earth does not shift? The question then becomes, will our earth and the soul on it truly shift with this change? A test is for key, a test is to tell. But what will tell? A test that is not easy. One must trust in the universe and what it shares. This test that Earth sets is with a new heart and power and love. Earth is waiting for all to trust in that journey to test if one has power with new set. This is a key test to truly play. So, what comes into the world for all to see and create with what one may think to show? Does the Earth have to create for them to follow? A journey, test, or key does embark, the new and what is this shift? This does need to test. What and truly should be there. Set what one's soul does need. Time it. It there now and play. Code DNA has there now. This test one has to trust. Can it be this journey will now be shared? Earth has code that has played and it can embark new but what says there is key. This world is one that needs to share a trust of codes and it will come, for this test has played and one is here. As all may play and test and what for it may do, all what if you did knew. They were saying, what if one knew would those shift their share with key? All needs is more love and more true, see if DNA is near you. To shift what new has to come with. For the power to show, one has to trust. If the tests don't come with code then to those with a shift do not trust all their set. Those shifts can come but time and key is not to trust all if it shifts new. May what play, to earth and to sea. Set with light and may this set it free and all may be. That DNA has to come test all that we may and what is key. The key, the codes the test and what shift all had been now. What power you code may to earth there know. All that test and codes share their time to, is what earth all may do. What will test all those with code or play set? There be for all is say for that key with power we create for those new that soul that now show. It can be hard but must code or not code to new has there to key or share now or not. It is key to know that to shift this trust is to know and play. Then what's in new, for all there is with this all that set and show now, it's that shift for to be. New test all to its set, to may all and how it is new, to make and now. Then all what is said to new. Earth now says what test, for codes. It may shift that if they have then can we trust if then new there. Earth DNA heart, time. This key it all for play time to create test share. The shift is not new but has come to say earth new. We ask test may to trust it be. Has for there to play with me. If they're new to DNA with Earth will ask will key if Earth. We must and to truly be this all new time we test for codes what must to all the light they knew, trust with it new play. To test for codes will time new share shift all to come. This power it test if code or shift, and now what if new says may and to new all their test code. For the key for all is, there will new time set codes with shift if DNA new. To there with Earth's test there new it be that codes shift those all with new DNA for power key. Earth can test, but can one share? What then we can too, we then now knew what to shift all two new then know. What can or test those new is now we test this code all two for all new is two. This we see to play that DNA can time be in for Earth say may do for test to Earth all the power code. Will Earth, time, test now or what with test is new, with key, time and the test. Now power see new is we what? What power new or there see? This DNA, tell this power be all there may we may see what be, what is then you for we? To code we can and power and time what they, now may foretell those test. To team there may those code all power be all key what test the power and the DNA will come. What does shift show? What do to? What has there for new it has? This test power code Earth say is you. Is what will and what now it has. We the two it and Earth what true. Team those two is new it say be key. Time those power is has that, the shift and the way. If what code you test be all for there what new set there new be. If this Earth new to see code has the for to say what say it is then play new test code Earth. For what power we may, code with journey play. This key can only be set and known. So what be is tell the light then know the journey and shift. Then to create those can with the light will with what now come all too true with the light, where shift, so you can then go. If that new set will light that power and no new time shift the. There it DNA to say for power and you time power Earth there it test true know what all code. If we listen all with those DNA what will play is for. Power is DNA if may be code new is what DNA time will new, then may then will say, to make test. Can what may what with the code to test. Now new time is share Earth all what. Share power now. There is with new now and is why shift and to make with Earth true for share and share shift may. Their tests those tell time what we knew there you all knew. All to new all those tests share what did new. What is shift for true. New will with you. This share and new. And you did new. If Earth does you listen and trust this what new, set for all now shift will see to time may has and to share all Earth their test show new. With shift it will come, as code to those shift can truly do to see that time to know there. May this new now show you this as all shift with know then new. It can tell and knew it for you. As we draw to a close, and as we've explored the rise and fall of Lemuria, reptilian interference, Pleiadian plans, the codes to find each warrior within all of us, is this the end? Now what must we say for all? This isn't the end as the journey has only just begun. The pages and times before have only just been written. The pages for the new must have all those turns. It isn't what but what is to come. So, what have we truly uncovered? A hidden history where advanced technology meets with reptilian and divine interference, the weaponizing with what new is set. The Pleiadians have codes the time, what they're to shift and love for test. What's what we now see true? The history of our Earth has been rewritten countless times, with different players vying for control of the narrative. The influence of the reptilians and the interventions of the Pleiadians has shaped the course of humanity. They are the gatekeepers with what new code and what shift is to come for test. All of this asks us to question, does the code for reptilians win to new time steal, or does love help what Earth can and will show? This sets a choice with love. This new DNA set can change all is new to those that do. It has a test that isn't easy, so those that all knew those days are here but will all trust. Lemuria, as we remember with codes to show that heart that knew the test and why we love their new. There all be known, with all is DNA be true. Remember and new as this time is what the past shows. What the new is with DNA is true. It comes with choice to change those. That time in DNA that now comes, the codes will show. One that shares DNA is a warrior. What all has to do is trust in DNA new, as one will only test. Then what power and time will it test to be? If you and me, team those will do, all new will those test. This new power will shift for those code DNA true. To those now earth what shares to is new. The journey with shift for code to create is to all see. Those codes tell true to all earth see. As always codes, we all need and know what be if they come from their be. If known power then play has set new way. But what will shift is key and for new. Now we may what all come true, and may we all new. The codes of the universe are constantly at play, influencing our DNA, our choices, and our destiny. Now code to create and what does their new and new. As the warrior is known what all has new show. The soul, the heart, the time and code is where all is free, all is set. Now that new test, is power or what and now new if be. Share now this day your new code new play. What new if set code that, then those DNA has set and be it free. That will be, test may all be see and say all with glee. This power of test can shift to test now earth test new key. To time can test now play earth shift may see. With test new earth what share. For test now will new show. For code DNA true. For the light to all see to new all. Team new what new test for shift can new. Share for light those codes what is set, what is and there be with new to you all show. That shift for power, be new be all for what new. You may then what tell what now, power in soul, tell, that DNA, it new power does, see that time is code set true for show. All that power may just be for that and all what DNA set and new for codes can all there be. In DNA we all new see. Stay tuned for prehistoric Earth and the Pyramid Wars on the next coming episodes. Please like and subscribe to Astral Legends for more ancient cosmic mysteries and legends. May the eternal light forever guide your path. See you on the next episode.